Welcome to the party. I hope we're not muted because I would forget to unmute us all the time. And so, yeah, it's
No,
just my
we're
life.
not muted.
Okay,
I'm
good.
pretty
Woohoo,
sure.
yay. No, we're probably not. Anyway, welcome to the party. We're so glad you're here with us for our all fem and NB game, Emissaries of Avithna. We are super excited to be here tonight. I'm just going to do a couple brief announcements and thank our awesome sponsors, Devin Rue, the Mistress of Maps, Tabletop Loot, So Nerdware, and of course, last but definitely not least, Roll20. They're awesome, and we're super excited to be sponsored by them. Also, you can check us out on Discord if you want to join our conversation. We have a lot of fun with that, and we also have a Patreon. It's the best way to support us, and you can have more awesome content like this. And of course, last but not least, don't forget it's September. Get your sub in. It's like half off. It's worth it. It's like $2.50, I think, for a sub. And subs give people rerolls and all sorts of fun stuff like that. So get in on that. There are the announcements. Let's go around and introduce everybody. And I'm going to start with the Leona.
Hi, my name is Leona. You can find me on Twitter at Leona Maple, and today I am playing Sita the Lioness. And I forget what playbook she is. So.
Paladin.
Paladin.
All right. Gemma.
Hello, I am Gemma. You can find me on Twitter at Kuponite, and I will be playing Asha, a elf-folk thief.
Sweet. Angela.
Hello there, everybody. I'm the Philosophem. You can find me at Phoenix24Fem, and it has now been actually properly renamed that I'm no longer going to PAX West, because that already happened. And I am going to be playing Asefa, the Tinkering Wizard.
Awesome. Cool. Mariam.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mariam, and I will be playing Bumper Share, the Tigerfolk Bard.
Awesome. And of course, Fox.
Hey folks, I'm Fox Barrett at Fox_Barrett on Twitter, and I will be playing Kavi, the Halfling Ranger is my class now. Just
with the snack.
Oh yes, my snack whose name is Jaya. I didn't forget what her name was at all.
Nope, you didn't.
Definitely didn't. Yes, I have.
And I am Kate. I go by me and Midair on the Twitters, and I try to keep this motley crew going in some direction, whatever that may be. Who knows?
It's Snake Herdin.
Snake Herdin. Who wants to talk about what happened last week?
Murder. Not really. We just kind of defended a village.
Against Sneeples.
Yes, Sneeples. I had almost forgotten about that. It returns.
There was a shitload of Yuan-Ti, and
drama.
We cleared it out.
Oh, yes, and lots of drama.
And I was left drinking alone.
Oh, that's right.
Oh God. Oh shit. That's right. Oh my God.
Oh, that's right.
Anybody forget about that? That's all that's been on my mind. Besides all of the emotions, I'm just like, this is the fourth time I think at this point Asha's been left by themselves. Just like.
So I'm just gonna easy sum up. Easy sum up.
That wasn't a good sum up.
Nope. Sorry. I love you all, but no. So easy sum up. Kavi, Barbara Share, and Asha were making their way to the Tavi villages to meet up with Sita and hopefully help her defend the villages for all the things. Yay. And they came across some fun people in the forest, jungle. I always say forest, but it's jungle. And managed to fend them off and then made their way to the villages where they showed up right as the village, well, a couple minutes before the village was attacked. So they had time to put themselves into situations. Meeting Asefa for the first time. They fought off the Sneeple, because I'm going to call him that forever because it makes me happy.
Yes.
And had done everything that they needed to do. They were catching up. There were feelings had when certain things came out. Barbara Share left and had a heart-to-heart with Asefa. Barbara Share and Sita left, had a fight, and then Sita walked off. Then Barbara Share had a moment with Asefa. Sita came back, grabbed her stuff, and then went back to her place, followed by Kavi, and we were left with Asha sitting alone in Asefa's house, drinking tea.
Whiskey.
Forget one detail though.
Oh, whiskey. Sorry,
was
whiskey tea.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it was whiskey.
The
Whiskey
good,
tea.
good stuff.
Whiskey tea.
We had
So-
definitely moved on to the hard stuff by that point.
Yeah.
Just gonna spike this a little bit.
So I'm
well,
gonna
like a
start
lot.
with Sita and Kavi. We're gonna pick up right where we left off.
So Sita, last I saw her, was headed back to her place.
Yeah,
and-
you two stepped out, or you stepped out, and
She just took off, and then I was kind of trailing, but giving her like space. Like I wanted to make sure that she, yeah.
supportive space.
and then she marched right into her hut and shut the door.
Yeah. Like at which point I would have just sort of been like, okay, and sat down somewhere nearby outside it, just to kind of just like, I'm just gonna be outside out here for a little bit, like next, like under a tree maybe. There's a lot of trees around, so I'm just gonna park my butt under there, maybe smoke a little, just kind of sit there and smoke and think.
I mean, Sita has no idea that Kavi's following her, so
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I'm just keeping an eye out. Things got weird. Things got tense. I'm worried about my friend, but she seemed like she kind of needed some space. So it's like, I don't know if I should go bug her. I'll just sit here, doop doop doop, smoke.
So Asha, you have just poured yourself another drink.
Yeah, I, as much as I felt that I felt kind of like left because everything was so sudden.
Buddy.
I then kind of think, oh well, maybe if whoever, maybe somehow someone will come back. And so like Asha will wait and like help then if someone comes back and needs
Does it help if Jaya's still there? Because she is. I
Oh, where's
left her
Jaya?
behind.
Is Jaya
She's
just
in-
like slithering
still-
around?
Yeah, she's just still in that hut, just hanging out. Probably
Okay, if there's like a part of Jaya's body that is near Asha, because Jaya's a beast, then like I kind of just pet her, pet Jaya with my wings. I'm like, at least you're here, Jaya. Just keep sipping.
I love that you're sipping whiskey. Lovely.
Yeah.
Okay, Asefa and Barbara Share were heading back towards Asefa's house, if I was correct.
Yeah, and I was
Okay.
lending Asifa a little sort of shoulder assistance.
So I didn't take my cane, so
Right.
I'm probably at the nice midpoint of excruciating flare up after.
Actually, can I ask a question about that if it's okay? I don't fully understand what Asefa's deal is. If you don't mind explaining, I don't know if you wanted to like hold some of that back or what. But
It's she deals with intermittent levels of like flaring chronic pain. The sort of straps that she keeps, they're to help keep pressure, and it's one of the best tools she's found to actually keep the flare ups of like
okay.
localized sort of pain along her arms and her legs. And because of that, like she has difficulty like standing up, and so she kind of goes back and forth between using it to help her get around a lot more easily.
Okay. Okay.
It's how I've wanted to just incorporate like a lot more disability into her backstory, and
For
also
sure.
just reinforce the like mechanics of like her strength is relatively weak, and that's part of it. Is that she's a lot tougher. She's a very tough cookie, but she's also like not a very strong person.
No, yeah.
And
Thank you.
yeah, and Sita like knows Asefa has high pain days and low pain days, and Sita kind of helps out. But at the same time, knows that if she fusses over Asefa, that it's not, so Asefa will just
Yeah.
There's like a line for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sita
like
will
that-
just kind of
that's-
like, oh god,
And that
That's
that
the
you guys
whole
have
thing,
definitely
like,
made clear. So like, yeah, I was just kind of like, I want to make sure I was on the same page there. It's like, am I missing something, or is it just okay?
No.
Does
If
Asefa
it goes,
Oh, does Asefa have compression also, and for her legs, or
it's it tends to be it's one of those, it depends on the day.
okay?
Like sometimes it's like, yay, I am not going to be carrying anything on my back very heavy because my shoulders are all in pain, and other times it's like, well, if I'm not getting out of bed today because my back is in excruciating pain. Like it just depends on the day, really.
Okay.
It-
Sorry to derail there. I just
No, that's
Wanted to make sure I was on the same page.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's
No,
perfectly
thank you
willing
for
to explain
explaining.
that. Yeah. But yeah, she would probably be leaning on Baba Share a fair bit, but like would by the time we got back would be honestly wanting to check in also on Asha as well, because like her first experience as a group is with this group together has been emotional, mess running out, friend of long time, someone I want to know, and then person who just looks like they got blindsided. So it's like
All on top of a fracas that resulted in snake
all on
bodies.
top of the whole like, not to downplay the whole badassness, but I just like brass knuckle the snake person to death. This has been a very long day, especially since you didn't expect that spell to work.
So as we enter the hut, I sort of ask, or like non-verbally, sort of like, where do I put you?
You don't need to put me anywhere. Just needed some help to get back, and
Oh,
she like
I make room that there's a seat. Make sure there's a seat for Asefa.
yeah, and I imagine she like looks for a second. She's like, "Where did I put my cane? The last time I saw it, it was oh." And then she like slowly, you probably see on her face, she slowly realizes she left the cane right underneath where Jaya is currently located. Like
I is curled around it at this point and looking very pleased with herself.
Is she missing a buddy to make a Caduceus stick?
Yes, she does not have a friend to fully complete it, but
I'm just gonna assume that Kavi would not want me bothering you, so I'm just gonna let you be with that cane, and I'm gonna just sit down for a bit. And she just like takes a moment, very uneasily, but like carefully sets herself down to Asha.
I sort of look at Jaya and I say, would you mind terribly if I remove the stick without moving you?
Jaya neither moves nor responds.
I try
Keep in
initially.
mind. So I want to be crystal clear about something just real quick. Jaya does not understand like spoken language. Jaya understands Kavi because Kavi can talk to animals. Just so you're clear.
I know that. Or
okay,
me player knows that. Bupper Shear thinks if Kavi's talking to Jaya, everyone can talk to Jaya.
They want the intention. Like speaking equals intention.
I wanted to make completely sure that was clear in character. Then yeah. Okay. Then yeah.
So then after sort of waiting for a response, I try to very gently pull this cane out without moving.
Asha has their cup like this, just watching.
Jaya doesn't move, fight, struggle, or do anything. She's probably asleep, maybe? She's not moving.
Very gently, this takes excruciating long time, and I'm just like slowly removing the cane.
Right as you get to the very end of it, she kind of just uncoils and slithers off somewhere else. Just like very, very rapidly, just floomph and goes off somewhere else.
Asifa.
In fact, she like looks around the room. And there's like a low enough, and it doesn't mean it'll be a low enough window. She's 6 feet long. She just like finds the nearest window and pushes her way out of it. It makes her escape.
Oh,
very slowly.
Should we go after Jaya?
I think we can assume that they'll return when they want to.
As she crests the window, you just hear a thump outside.
Ooh. I hope she's okay.
Are you okay, Asha?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm fine. Are you? I'm glad you're back, but are you okay? I look at both Sefa and Babar. I know things, a lot of things happened, so I'm sorry I didn't go out to meet you too.
No, it's okay. I wasn't expecting anyone to meet me, but there's a lot of things that are about me and also not about me, and Asifa helped me with that, but I don't know what's going to happen. I guess I'm still needed, but if my presence is not wanted anymore, I'll
No,
go.
that was never the question. Of course you're needed. I turn to Asefa and just go, thank you for bringing them back.
I did absolutely nothing but speak the truth. That's all that I did.
What is everybody doing?
Well, I go over and pour some drinks for Asefa and Babar.
I look gratefully and chug the whole damn thing. And put it down.
We've hidden my snake. And she slowly makes her way over to me.
Slowly but surely.
Yep.
Go to offer her my pipe. She just coils up along my arm and onto my back and I'm down on the other side. And we share a moment in the night underneath the tree. And I just kind of keep an eye.
Sita kind of like paces in her home a bit. She's really angry and she's fuming, and like she debates if she wants to go talk to Sapphire or not. And she just kind of at some point just flops on her bed and it's just like, I haven't been home in forever. I'm just gonna sleep it off and figure it out in the morning.
And I think once like the light goes off in that house, I just sort of turn to Jay and go, oh yeah, where do we sleep around here?
I mean,
I fall asleep under that tree.
Asefa knows that you have guest quarters that people can sleep
Probably.
in. No, but there are.
I didn't have the
We
foresight
came
to
back
ask.
and asked. Like, the foresight to ask. Sometimes this happens.
I occasionally look out to see if Jaya's still there, and I sort of worry before I pass out at some point. It's like, should I go? If Kavi loses Jaya, then one more person's gonna be mad at me. So I actually go out the window and sort of look, and if once I see Jaya's with Kavi, I come back in.
That would just be zonked out underneath a tree.
So yeah, there are not in Asefa's place, but there are guest quarters. Unless, I mean, you can of course have people stay with you, Asefa, if you'd like, but there are guest quarters within the village.
I sort of assume with like just, I'll say the last thing I'm doing for that night, if depending on who falls asleep first between Asha and Babashar, that I would offer Asha the opportunity if they wanted to chat, just to check in, because Asefa would have immediately wanted to make sure they're doing okay as well. But if they're like already in like full, I'm great sleep, so like sort of state, then like they would just like get a blanket, like one of the comfier ones, make sure to like tuck them on the like one of the like couch style sort of spots she has in her home, and then just like try and figure out like undo the robes and put on a nightgown, and then just like try and figure out which set of bands are good for going to sleep and which blanket is best for that evening.
Yeah, Asha definitely, after just making sure Babar was okay and sees Babar zonk out, like you could just see like Asha nod, and then the like Asha's like owl eyes just start fluttering, and then just
Oh my god.
and just starts just zonks out.
Everyone rests that evening.
Meanwhile, under a tree.
I mean, it is. I mean, it's a good night's sleep still. You know, you're fine.
She's used to it.
Yeah.
She had a long day. Just, the contrast there is amazing.
Sita wakes up in the morning and sees Kavi and Jaya passed out under a tree outside her hut and just kind of goes,
A rare occurrence because I'm usually up first.
yeah, well, Sita passed out before you, so.
No, yeah, it's a thing. It's like, yeah. So I'm saying this is unusual for Sita. Usually by the time you're up, Kavi's already doing nonsense.
Yeah.
She slept in today.
Mm-hmm. They're just kind of like, okay.
I love that image because Fox sells it so well.
Oh no! Oh no!
Feed you later. Feed you later.
I'll feed you later.
Oh my god.
I sort of imagine though, like Sita, as you're probably when you're waking up early in the morning, you're gonna find not like a package, probably more like a plate, just waiting for you right on the front steps of your home.
Oh, well, Sita will, after watching Kavi and just shaking her head, will kind of like spot just on the front step a plate. She'll go, oh, and she'll bend down and pick it up.
There's a little note attached to it, and it's in Asefa's handwriting, and it'll just read, "For when you're ready to talk." I think these are, if I recall, these are your favorite. And it's essentially just, they're little pastries. They're filled with semolina, sugar, and spices. That just, they're like little, almost like rounds that have been made together. That you can tell maybe Asefa herself has tried to make them, and you can tell because they're not actually perfectly round and they're a little messy. But she seemed like she tried to make some for you specifically.
And Sita can smell them, and she goes, oh my gosh, I haven't had them in forever. And you just see this, like, you just see this very excited little nest just kind of go, yoink, close door. She'll just like slowly take a bite of one. She'll just really savor it. And the taste of the semolina wrapped in the pastry. And they make her mouth water, and she just kind of really, really savors the moment. And she's just like, I feel so much better now. And with that, she'll kind of freshen herself up for the day very quickly at home, and then she will head over to Asefa's.
Asefa is up. I'm going to say a detail that's very different from myself. Asefa is an early morning riser. I am not an early morning riser, but Asefa definitely is. And
Mood.
I imagine, depending on how long it takes Kavi to get there, Asefa is probably on the little like circular table that's more like at a kneeling sort of position. She just has a couple of cups, 2 pots on each side. And probably by the time Kavi comes in, she just points to one. She's like, tea, points to the other, coffee.
All right, so yeah, at some point, like, I literally and figuratively catch like the tail sight of Sita as she's kind of disappearing off into wherever Asefa lives. And it's like, oh yeah, up. Oh my god, get off. You can go there. Those are trees. You know how to take care of yourself. I'll meet you later. This is Jaya. Like, Jaya just drops down and like slithers off into the jungle. She gonna go get her own breakfast. She prefers it that way, honestly. It also means we don't have to go through all the details of what it's like for a python to eat.
Please no.
Hear a loud crunch.
No,
Yes.
no, it's gonna take some time. No,
Yeah,
not
no.
even you hear it. It's gonna be out in the jungle.
I will say there is no crunch, but it is not a pleasant sound.
Yeah,
I
no,
watched
it's
some
not a
videos
pleasant
anyway. But yes, I wanted to know about pythons. All right, I like snakes. But anyway, yeah, I cast her aside, and I kind of like follow after a little bit, like stretching and like cracking my back 14 times, just like, oh yeah, I haven't done that in a while. That was a mistake. Anyway, and yeah, when I come in to the house, like kind of snapping my neck back and forth, and you present the 2 options, like. Before you even like point at, or it was tea and then coffee, or coffee
Yeah,
and
it
then
was tea and then coffee.
Like, I just kind of like, I don't even look at the tea. It's just like the coffee, and like immediately like plop down and start drinking.
Which works because Sita went for the tea.
Just sort of like sitting down with like little bits of like breads and like slight little like jams and such that have been made from like local berries and such, and just sort of just waiting for. Well, actually, she'll ask and check in for both of you. Would you like to check in as a group, or do you? And turns to Sita. Would you like to check in about things privately, or do we want to table any conversation till later?
Sita just kind of pauses mid sip of tea and kind of looks with very wide eyes at Asefa and goes, more sipping.
I'm happy to talk. Like whatever food is in the middle of the table, into face. What are we gonna talk about?
Sita will gently take one of the breads and jams, and she'll start with, so who made gugras, Asefa?
Haven't the faintest idea.
Mm-hmm. They were delicious. Whoever made them.
They
Well, it
hurt
wasn't
like
me.
hell.
Pardon?
They hurt like hell, is what I imagine the person who made them would say.
Sounds about right. But they were delicious.
Yes. Oh, sorry. And being coy when I should just be obvious. Oh, I made Sita her favorite.
No, I'm not an idiot, kiddo. I get
don't
it.
assume.
You two have like a thing, or what's your deal?
Just like eating food.
No,
She's a halfling. She gets hungry.
We're just best friends. We've been best friends not our whole lives, but for a very long time.
I've been led to believe the expression is gal pals.
That means something slightly different where I come from, but you know, more power to ya.
Quite an amusing individual. I admire your boldness and I believe the term is assumption, if I've read it correctly.
This stuff's good, by the way. Thank you. Good hospitality. Very appreciated. Listen, if you're worried about me because I had to, you know, perforate a few troublesome sneeples, like, I'm okay. I mean, really, like, I don't know. Are you? You did some kind of buck wild shit. Like, have you ever done that before? Is this? Do you need to talk about the whole fisticuffs thing?
Would Asefa have dealt with them that directly before, Kate? With this?
I think that's up to her.
I mean, yeah.
I don't feel like she would have been the kind of like
No
person she would have had to have been in that
Sounds
moment.
like a first.
I think it's a first, and especially since they're just now starting to encroach on the villages. They've been absent for a very long time, and you did not fight back in the past. So yeah, it seems like this would probably be her first time.
Then yeah, Kavi just sort of like looks you in the eye, and it's just like, is this the first time you've ever had to kill someone before?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Are you okay, Asefa?
I don't have the luxury to focus too often on my own concerns and my own uneasiness with such things. But being direct, yes, this is the first time, and that was not pleasant. More than anything, I was surprised that worked, because I have never gotten that combination to work before. I was only thinking that would be something I could try several weeks from now. I did not think I would have to use it now, but it worked. And it seems as though if I am expected to see this village and my people be safe, then it is a very little importance how well my personal comfort with it is.
I turned to Sita. Your friend is verbose.
My friend is very well spoken.
Also that.
I read what I can. It's unfortunate habit.
Don't ever let nobody tell you that reading books is a bad idea, kiddo. Frankly, I think we could all do with a lot more of it around here.
I was under the impression we could do a lot more with listening to someone like you.
Bit of both,
I mean,
suppose.
yeah, you know, if you're looking for a good time in the darker parts of a big city, sure, but
Never really been to many cities outside of being kidnapped, so I would like to know good times, even amidst the dark ones.
and I just look back and forth between Asita and Asefa at the mention of being kidnapped, just like,
Mm, yeah, long story short, Sadaya's kind of a precious commodity, you know? So, yeah, bad things happened, but it was the day I met Asefa. Properly.
just very seriously look at Asefa. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. It's a shit way to go about any life.
It is a life. It is what I been raised to do, trained to do, whatever words people like to use to feel comfortable about their lives. Like I said, it's not really my job to be focused that much on my own worries and such.
Do you? I start to ask Asefa, then I turn to Sita. Does she get any say in this? I'm sorry, I'm not super familiar.
Sadayas are born this way. That's no, it's not really, but in the same way that I had no real say in being a guardian. We are chosen. We are born this way. But in our case, and in most cases, it normally works out.
Well,
it's my life purpose. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
No, you're capable enough, and you're definitely, literally a miracle, it would seem. So,
my reason for checking in. My reason for checking in is primarily given the leader in me and verbose one, as you say, would like to say the messiness of yesterday in relation to the group, but I think it's probably better to just be blunt and say whatever the emotional clusterfuck that yesterday was for many of us.
Sita, I like this kid.
Asefa is kind of the best.
You do get to the point, huh?
As I said, my concern first and foremost has to be the well-being and future of, if not just the continent, all of Avithna, it is also to my people first and foremost. And part of that means, though I think about the broader, big scope, long-term things, it also means I have to focus on the little things. And the little things like, how does this group feel about each other? How are we all doing? Can we work together well enough? I have to care at least somewhat about that.
She's too busy looking at Asefa with pride.
At that, Kavi stands up a bit and kind of dusts herself off. I mean, listen, not to put too fine a point on it, kid, but we're hired for a job. We're gonna get the job done. Lady Minsay thinks that we're the people to do it, and so be it. And end of the day, that's really all there is to it, right? We signed, well, I guess we didn't sign anything, but whatever. There was like, we weathered the elements or whatever the hell that was. We're inducted now. It's code names and everything. So I'm not about to skip out on a job. Besides, this one feels important. Bigger than us, so.
Are you and Barbara awake yet, Asha? Are you still sleeping? Is Barbara just like...
Bubba is actually sleeping sort of during the night, sort of once everybody fell asleep, just crawled out the window and just passed out in front of the window outside.
Okay.
Didn't that happen in like the second episode too? Outside the tea house, as I recall?
Yep.
Throwback.
And
that was in the middle of the doorway, actually,
yeah,
but yes.
Yeah, because I remember coming across them.
Yeah, and Bubber actually wakes up, sees everybody at the table, and just decides to go back in the house and find what's left of the alcohol and polish it off.
Grab the alcohol before you do it.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, no, wait, you're not having breakfast outside?
No, they're all inside.
No, we're all inside.
Oh, then doesn't even enter. Sort of looks up the window, sees all of you, and then just goes back down and starts eating grass.
Eating grass.
Okay, hold the fucking phone here. Eating grass?
And spits it out and realizes it tastes horrible and just stares at the ground.
Oh my Christ. I go outside
So do
because I'm the
I.
ranger and I hear all of this shit. It's like, I just look down, it's like, you know there's food in here, right? Don't even answer that question. Get your ass in here and eat something. And then there's just a string of invectives in fucking in halfling as I go back inside and get more food.
Like Asafa's like mirrored this sort of almost curmudgeonly bluntness by just shoved a cup of tea into your like hand, and it's like still trying to keep manners, but is also like it's morning, and she's like, food. Just turns and goes in.
I point at the table, eat.
And,
I
like,
just
goes
sip
to busy.
I just sip the tea.
I love how Asha's been sleeping through all of this. This is my favorite thing ever.
They had a long night.
I think you're
you're
muted, dude.
You're muted.
You did.
I think throughout the conversation, Asha like kind of like starts like blinking and waking up, ruffles their feathers, and while the discussion's still going on, they kind of just trudge to like the tea, pour a cup, scoot a pastry to their side, and then like literally just like puts their beak into the cup and starts sipping, but then kind of puts their head up and goes, "I'm listening," and then just keeps on drinking the tea.
Campaign isn't actually about espionage or anything. It's
No.
just about protecting Asha.
Yep, pretty much.
Yep.
Our camp-
Kavi goes looking for like water. Like if you have like a basin or something.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't-
there's a side basin.
I wasn't thinking much on like being hungover, just like that
Okay.
was just a lot of like
Okay.
it was just that mental and physical exhaustion, and Asha's just like, okay,
It's too early.
yeah, and owls.
Buddy.
Morning.
Do you all sit
good.
and enjoy breakfast, whatever it is you're doing, whether it's drinking tea or actually eating food? And you hear a knock on the door.
Man, I look to Asefa. It's your house.
If you're here to kill
Would
me,
you like-
make it quick. It's morning.
Would you like me to get it to Sepa?
It's fine.
Okay.
You make that joke, I start to reach for my sword.
So are you answering the door or
I am
what?
answering the door.
Okay. As you open the door, you see
Okay.
someone you have not seen in years. It is a small halfling with short, dark hair, kind of like a darker yellowish brown skin. And in the side of their hair are cut patterns on either side of their hair. They're wearing a like loose fitting kind of monk garb and carrying a quarterstaff bigger than them, taller than them. And you remember this person as Ash. And they look at you and go, "Good to see you're up and about and older."
Hey. Your manners have remained the same, which is to say non-existent.
Yeah, I do things. Yeah.
Gestures towards the cabinet full of various tinctures and like vials. Also do things.
Good.
It's said with like a impish sort of like smile the whole time. It's like
As they walk in, they kind of pat you on the shoulder and they're like, "Good." I look at you, Sita. Good to see you.
Hello.
You must be Kavi.
I mean, word does get around, but the
Asha?
look on your face doesn't. I'm not a fan
No,
of.
they're just looking around the room. Asha?
Okay.
I wave a wing. Hello.
Barbara Sher. Lady Minsay sent me.
Oh, finally.
Fuck's sake.
I put my head up because now it's like official business.
And they come in and go, okay, what do you need to know?
Welcome. Have a seat. Have a cup of tea or coffee first.
Thanks.
What do you have? What news do you have for
I
us?
didn't know Ash was a gem.
You have to understand that Sita and Asefa knew Ash before they became part of Lady Mensei's organization. So they're going to introduce themselves with a name that...
Fair enough.
They also really don't stand on ceremony because they were in a relationship with her son. It's a long story. Anyway, so...
Drama.
Yeah.
Also, we're just learning that halflings are inherently rude people, apparently.
Not rude, just very direct.
Or that.
And low charisma.
Okay, fair enough.
What news do you have for us?
I heard that there's problems in Varanasi. I heard that there's incoming Vasahatans, I think they're called.
Yes.
Yep.
Into the villages. I hear that the Wanti are back and causing problems.
We
Briefly.
fought them last night. Yes.
Oh, they're in our base still, as far as I heard.
I'm just getting smaller and smaller and sliding down my chair as the news is being spread about Varanasi.
Yes, well, we fought off a small group of Yuan-Ti. I anticipate there will be more.
Yes, that's my concern, and I don't know why. They seem to have been quiet for a while after their last adventures into this area.
Well, the Vasahatans are on their side. They're working together.
I don't think that's true.
I said, do we have proof of that?
Did we have proof of that in our notes?
I don't think so. I think this is Sita being a little bit on the more prejudiced side. I mean,
oh, that's fair.
The Vasahatans and the Yuan-Ti are both like her mortal enemies at this point, right? So naturally, she's going to conspiracy theory this and think they're working together.
Lady Vincent doesn't think so, although that's an interesting thought to look at. The Wanti tend to work with no one, but it's a thought.
I wouldn't trust it. These Vasahatans have penetrated very deep into the villages, and they intend to build schools here, is my understanding.
Yes, I think they intend to build schools all over the continent, and that is a problem. They pull out a map, and they lay it in the middle of the table. Well, like they'll move stuff around. It's not like they're gonna put it on top of food. They start eating food too, just like a halfling. Don't worry about that one.
I grab another pastry to help out the...
Yeah, and then they start marking out the spots on the map. So we're here in Weimar. As far as I know, Ariana has made some inroads in Varanasi, so that's something. There has been overtures of the Vasahatans to Lindar, and they seem to be accepting it fairly well. And then they're just marking this all out on the map. The Wanti are coming into the villages through our bay. They seem to be causing problems. And they've had to rebuild a lot. That's what we know. Lady Mensei wants to know what you think is a good idea to do.
Well, we know what villages they're attacking. Forgive my ignorance here. I tend to stick closer to the coast. Where do these Yuan-Ti come from?
The desert, and they'll pull out the. This is the map of the continent that you all have, and they will point out like Bayakara on the map.
Oh.
So they come from here.
Okay.
Right there.
West of here. Far west of here.
Very west. Ooh.
It's an awfully long way to walk to pick a fight. And like I turn towards Asefa. What do y'all have here that they want so damn bad?
Is it something to do with their home?
They kept mentioning home.
I mean, if
I
you
don't
don't know,
know.
fair enough. Like, Sneeples are weird peoples.
A natural laugh at that, just like this deep, gut wrenching laugh. That's a good one. I haven't heard that one.
Nice to have, I say in halfling, nice to have someone who appreciates my sense of humor.
It's nice to have some humor. Been sadly lacking since Aximo's been away. And then they'll just go back to the map and they'll be like, I wonder why they wanted Sadhaya's.
Sadayas are born of the goddess.
Yeah,
They
but
are blessed.
why would the 1T want them? And then why would they try to do something with them? You remember, right, Asefa?
Right.
You weren't the only one.
No.
This is that kidnapping thing y'all were talking about?
Ash was part of the group that brought me back.
So maybe that's what this attack was again. They were just trying to get... I look over at Sefa and don't finish the sentence.
I'm sure they expected me to just keel over and either die or be passed out in fear.
Sure showed them.
There's very little known about the 1T Empire. Ash, do you know any more than we do?
We saw when not really. When we were seeking down Asefa and the other missing Sadhaya, we saw their city was quite vast and full of people. They were having some sort of ceremony. But beyond that, there's not much we can find of it. They're very quiet and keep to themselves for the most part.
Other than their love for attacking our villages.
Yeah, I think they want something you have.
They want our Sadhayas. It makes sense. That's why we have guardians to protect them. They're blessed. They're born of the goddess. They have magic and strength and wisdom.
It's weird though. The Sadhayas and the 1T haven't been a problem for your villages until recently.
Has anything, and again I address this to Asefa, has anything strange happened? Has anything changed around here? Have any farm implements fallen out of the sky for no discernible reason?
And that's what we call a callback.
Like any oddities, unexplained phenomenon?
Would, as far as I know, given my base set of knowledge from coming in or having studied the area, would I know anything that's changed?
You just know that the excursions into the villages started shortly before you were abducted. And before that, you had no contact with the 1T at all.
As far as I know, this is before my time. This is before the kidnapping. Prior to that, we hadn't even encountered such beings.
Okay.
It's been happening our whole lives. And then Sita suddenly has a light bulb moment. Asefa, are either one of our mentors still in town? Who's around?
We just saw them yesterday.
Yes. Do you think they would know anything about this?
I mean, we have very little leads in terms of U1T related information. It might be the best thing we have so far.
They are our elders. They would know better. I can ask them.
That's one lead.
Okay.
Ash, you said that other villages are being attacked, right? It's not just this place?
Yeah, well, you'd mentioned Arbe in your letter to Lady Minze, and that's where the attacks were starting from last time as well, so I was concerned about that, wanted to go check on it. But,
No, I honestly, I think starting there, one, making sure they're not, dead, and two, to see if, for example, what the UNT did is come in and make off with their wonderful magical friend and then depart. It's another potential thing to investigate, because honestly, I don't really see us marching into, what'd you call that city again? Something?
Bayakara.
Bayakara.
It
yeah,
sucks.
I imagine it's full of snake people, so I don't figure we'll blend in especially well.
Would my bardic lore help in uncovering any particular information or pertinent information that might help us?
I don't know what move you're wanting to use. So
Bardic lore, which is
So
when you first
what-
encounter an important creature, location, or item, your call covered by Bardic lore, and my area of expertise is grand histories of the known world. I can ask. Actually, I'll just do that, and then
Oops.
you can.
okay, thank you. That's helpful. Sorry, just a sec. So what are you doing to
As I'm quietly listening to all of this and drinking tea, I wonder about information that I had heard a while ago while being in Varanasi, or even in our downtime when we were in Govara, about the world at large, in relating to what the Vasahatans were also researching and why Bhayagara might be important, or what sort of a connection there might be with the Yuan-Ti.
Okay, so you're going to have to focus on you have one question you can ask.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I guess it would be what about this village might be of importance to the Yuan-Ti?
So you look back into your mind through some songs that you've heard, some tales, small tales of the Yuan-Ti, and you're trying to figure out, but there's just honestly, if you're trying to think about this village, there's just not anything that seems to make sense.
Okay.
They seem to be very quiet to themselves. They build their own thing and they just stay in the desert. And so it's out of the norm for them to have left the desert and do what they're doing over the last, 15 years? But it doesn't, you don't know why this village, why the villages.
Okay. Then I don't say anything and I continue sipping my tea.
What would make a culture so desperate that they would kidnap people of other cultures? Surely desperation. But why? Maybe there's something that's gone wrong in the desert?
Not impossible. Hell, it's not impossible the Vasahatans are behind something going wrong in the desert. They've certainly had meddlings elsewhere.
I wouldn't put it past them.
But the question is how do we find out? And short of heading out west ourselves, there's not exactly a lot of news coming out of that part of the continent.
Can we send in spies?
I think that's us.
Someone else that can be undercover, wasn't it? Who was it last time that we saw that was undercover? One of our gem friends.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at my notes very
Topaz?
quickly.
Topaz.
True.
Topaz. I don't think I have anything on my moves. No, nothing that would make me undercover.
I can send it back to the lady and we can see, is what Ash says.
We need more information.
All the information you have for us, Ash.
Go ahead.
That's what we know. It might be useful to stay out of the city for a little while.
So that was my next question.
down.
Yeah. So what's how's the town doing?
Fine. Someone's appeared dead. They don't know who or how that happened, and Ariana is making inroads, as far as I can say. Not necessarily with Devika. Devika doesn't seem very happy right now and is kind of taking over the whole city.
Right. Shit.
Then who is Ariana making inroads with?
Yeah.
It's working with Fenethil, last I heard.
Fenethil is
Asha's
friend?
yeah.
Okay.
Like friend.
and Alice.
And Alice.
Alice.
Excellent.
Yeah,
This is good news.
it's something. It might not be the widest power base, but at least they're dependable, and I trust that they have the city's best interests at heart and aren't just trying to make a power grab.
Davika is tearing the city apart, not really willing to listen to most anything right now. Alice is waiting for the proper time to broach the subject with them.
Fantastic. I almost hate to put this forward. I mean, is our time better spent there trying to do something about that mess? I don't know.
I don't think so.
This is kind of above my pay grade. I'm not gonna lie, y'all.
Well, I mean, what's happening in the city? Is it like riots in the streets or?
No, oh no. They're just trying to find the killers, and the Vasahatans are pissed, and so blaming the city and its people, and it's been a interesting time.
Sita just sips her tea.
You haven't heard. They wouldn't attack the city, would they? Over this?
We see no signs of it, and we're keeping an eye on the island.
Oh, right. That island is still out there. Swears in halfling.
So if we
Okay.
go back to the city, what should we focus on?
The lady suggests you either figure out what's happening with the 1T or handle the villages.
Well, I mean, we're already here. Seeing what's going on in the other villages around here is certainly our most present thing we can take care of.
It also might give us some more information if there, because do all of it, just to be a lore check, is it all the villages have a Sataya?
Yes.
That's what I figured. Maybe we could get more information that way, just to see how the other Satayas are doing.
Yeah.
Even just checking on their safety and maybe seeing if the other guardians, if someone has, because we've recently found out one that was taken at the same time as myself, correct?
And one is in Varanasi at the moment, as far as I know.
Oh, we know about her.
Good.
As it stands, that's the best way we have in the vicinity to get more information that might help us with the Yuan-Ti situation. Perhaps some of the other Setaya have a sense of what's going on, or maybe the other elders and mentors who might be in their villages will have a sense of what's going on.
All right. Then we have a plan then.
Yes.
Ash, one more question. Was Sita was given that snake medallion, right? What was it again? Just jog my memory, sorry.
It's the symbol of the night serpent,
which is
the goddess of the 1T.
Okay. And she shows it to Ash. Would this mean anything to you?
Yeah,
other
it's
than
the symbol
belonging
of
to the 1T?
Yeah,
No, but I mean, is it when you went to rescue Asefa, was it over a temple or anything like that, or was it all over the city? I'm just curious to know if there's any significance beyond what we know.
They sit and they think for a second. I think it's a religious symbol.
Interesting.
I saw it on the temple. I didn't see it in the rest of the city. Granted, we didn't get the best view of the city when we were there, but...
Of course. Well, at least that's something. It's religious, whatever it is.
Or they're religious people. Speaking of, you still need that thing actually? You done with it? I pointed at the emblem or the medallion.
Yeah, have it.
Fantastic, thanks.
What do you want to do with it?
Let me know when we're heading out. And I grab my bow as I walk out the door.
Copy?
I should probably check on Bessie, and I head out as well.
The asshole cow.
And see, they just kind of looks at Asefa with like a gajillion questions, like a gajillion question marks would appear above her head if this was a comic strip.
They let her go. She seems sensible enough and more than capable of handling herself.
This is true.
Yeah, to be clear, it wasn't leaving angry. If anything, Kavi looked bemused as she walked out the door.
Oh no, I took it as like Kavi's like, I'm gonna go do a Kavi thing. And, like,
Which
just the
always
vibe.
throws Sita for a loop. It just always throws Sita for a
So
loop.
Ash is gonna be like, so why we have a minute?
Yes.
All right.
What have you been up to? And we'll like just sit back and go, I want to hear about it, and smile.
She's
This is-
asking us of
Avicefa. And then they will of Sita as well. But it's very much a business is done. Now we can be personal.
Have to get the important shit out of the way. Now we can actually like talk like people.
Yes.
So like, she will probably point to like a little like tray that's been set aside with the breakfast foods and such, and there's probably like one that's left that she just offers it in case
Oh.
she left it.
And Ash will grab it and just shove it in their face.
You remain as charming as ever, Ash. Please never change.
Serves me well in my life.
You don't have to rely on being a charming person. It's never a skill set you have to develop, and that's a good thing. But
And then they'll just sit and listen to you tell them what you've been up to the last however many years.
yeah,
Because they are invested in you. They did help save you, and it's important to them.
yeah, she'll probably just spend a lot of time like recount like it's probably one of those like when you have a friend over who hasn't talked for a while, it's just like I'll bounce off some like story thread or like half remember it and like see if it will like fill in the other half.
That's kind of what I was
details.
thinking would happen.
Yeah.
But I kind of actually wanted to try something. If it's okay.
Yeah.
I kind of because this seems like a perfect moment to give it a shot. I think in the middle of this, or like near the tail end of just like recounting a lot of memories, stories, things that I've read from books I was able to acquire, and just tinkering around, Seth will probably get to a point of being like, and I've been trying to like build some of these experiments out. She'll point to the patch in the roof that's like slightly burned or has sparked. She's like, not all of them work, but I think I have something that's a little bit stronger than I'm used to giving a shot, and I want to see if I can get this to work. And you see her; she's been actually moving each of the teacups into a particular like symbol on the table, and just sort of taking like the leftover like tea leaves and like spreading it out to sort of feeling like instead of like imagining like a let's say like a teleportation circle with like the chalk for it, it's made out of tea leaves for the symbology, and she's gonna try and just cast a spell first to see if she can get this to work. Like she's pulling out one other like really weird. This is like an off-color blue that looks like lavender just got purified down into like a super like food dye. So I'm gonna try and cast a spell. She's gonna like put a couple of these things down and see. Okay, let's see if this actually works. So I'm going to cast this spell. Where's my spell? Come on, do this thing.
Survey says
you succeed, but you will choose one.
I'll forget it because I'm assuming we're gonna have time to prepare spells again. It's like.
So what does the spell do?
So I'm pulling that up right now. She is going to try. I think narratively, I imagine like she gets excited because the tea leaves like actually react. There's like a vibrant, almost like phosphorus, like in the range of like a bioluminescent kind of glow of the tea leaves starting to react and form out the symbol. And she gets really excited. She's like, "Oh my god! Oh, thank you, Parvati. It actually worked. I've been trying to get this to work. I think this is supposed to do something about good fortune and such." I never actually got around to finishing the transcription, and she's going to cast Visions Through Time. And in the center of the symbol, she's overturned the pot and filled it with water. Just like plain water, just to like open it up once the symbols are fully lit up, to just pull off the top of the pot and look into it.
What is your focus? Because it's going to make a difference. Are you focusing on the Vasahata or are you focusing on the Wanti?
the villages.
Okay.
What the next move heading towards the next village, like whatever the closest village we're heading to, that's what Asefa is focusing on. Like she's
Okay.
she's filled with happiness and hope, and she's like, maybe this will carry over towards the villages. She thinks this is a spell of finding good luck.
Yes.
Oh
okay.
no.
Yeah, no, this is not good.
No,
It
but I-
super
So-
isn't.
You're focusing on the villages that the Wanti are near, or the villages that the Vasahat are, and that's kind of what I'm trying to find.
Wanti.
The Wanti. Okay. You see you kind of like look into the leaves, and it kind of takes over your vision, and all of a sudden you don't see around you, you just see like darkness, and coming out of that darkness and smoke, you see a very small person. You can't really tell anything about them except that they have brilliantly white hair, and you see them marching on the village with rows and rows and rows of Wanti behind them.
The person leading them is with white hair.
Yes.
Is there anything useful about how I can interfere with that?
Yes. So what you can do is the biggest thing that you can do about interfering is figure out what's happening. So this gives you an idea, but the way you can interfere with this is to go to Arbe and take the next steps. If that makes sense, you get this overwhelming feeling that I must go to Arbe and I must speak to, let me make sure I've got the right person. And I must speak to Aloth.
Okay.
So that's the overwhelming urge you get.
Okay.
And Ash will look at you and go, that was interesting. Like, that turned color. What happened?
That was so cool.
I missed it.
What did it do?
Wait. Are you okay? And Ash will, like, literally grab your hands. Breathe. We can't hear you if you're actually talking.
Are you
No,
speaking?
she's just muttering like no,
Okay.
like repeatedly.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
she's just like.
Mike
Ash
didn't
is just
pick that
gonna,
up.
yeah, Ash is
Yeah.
just gonna grab your hands. Look at me. Breathe. What happened?
Kaya leading Yuan-Ti villages.
Okay,
We need to go to our bay.
then that's where you go. I'm gonna go back and get help. And we'll let go of your hands, like if you're okay.
Oh.
So in that moment, Barbar, what have you been doing this whole time? Talking to the cow?
Yeah, I sort of go in and chat with the cow and sort of seeing if the cow will gore me.
Nah. The cow's just eating its cud. It's like just chewing. Hanging around.
And I'm
You're not
just-
trying to jump on it and stuff, you know, like we're
Yeah.
trying to parkour on a cow.
But
It
I'm
seemed
just,
like a good idea at the time.
like, I'm basically having a conversation and I'm sort of like, oh, I guess I'm not important to even be gored. Okay, I'll just stay here.
Kavi, what are you doing?
So I putter out. I find a tree. I'm like, it's too tall. No, it's a bush. Ha! I find a branch the right height that I like. And I take the little medallion and I kind of tie that sucker up there. I take a few steps back and I grab a couple of my arrows. I block them in the ground. I kind of lick my thumb, check the wind. I pull back an arrow. I fire it, trying to go like through the ring of this thing. And unless you want rolls for that, once it goes through, Kavi doesn't look especially happy. It's like she kind of stomps over to it, just kind of takes her finger and just like lightly pushes it so it's kind of swaying back and forth a bit. rips her arrow back out of the tree, steps back a couple feet back from where she was before, draws, and fires through the ring again. It's like, satisfactory, I suppose. And continues to practice shooting through the ring of this thing as it sways.
After you...
Eventually,
No.
Jaya shows back up looking very full.
Yeah, Jaya's eaten. And as you're doing this, you just all of a sudden hear like a slow clap behind you.
You know, I'm doing a thing here. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, I know you're busy. I get it. And it's Aaron.
Hi. Yeah. Can I help you? I'm practicing. This is how you become good like me. Hi. What's up?
Yeah, I know. It's why I'm good. And she will just draw her bow back and 2 in a succession straight through the middle.
Okay, I can't whistle because everybody's asleep, but I whistle in appreciation. Huh. So you that's not just for show then. Impressive.
Yeah, like you know, I teach people in the village how to do things. And do you remember who Aaron is?
Oh yeah, I super do.
Okay. Just making sure.
As she's telling me all of this, it was she, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Jaya's just sort of wending her way up around my waist. It's like, yeah, no, I mean, it's cute. I mean, like, you know, if you want to just do like parlor tricks and stuff, but you know, if you really wanted to get good at this, and like at that point, like Jaya kind of goes up across my chest and over my eyes, and I loose the arrow. You know, I'm just saying, there's other levels to aspire to. But like I kind of push the snake down. But you're very impressive. I mean, honestly, like I've met few archers of your skill. Well, like one guy, but he's kind of a dick. And honestly, he's probably not even good enough. Like,
yeah, kind of a dick. I can't imagine who that would be.
So anyway, did you just come here to distract me from practice, or did I kind of like lean on my bow? Or I guess
I was just walking by. You know, thought I'd say hi, but no, some people are cranky today, I guess, or something.
Listen, it's been a long life. Honestly, look.
I mean, fair, I get it.
Apologies.
She's older than you. Like,
oh, that's right. She is. That I forgot.
Yeah, she's older than you. She's like, I get it.
So, where'd you learn to shoot like that? Anyway.
From a teacher.
Anybody I'd know?
I mean, have you been to the villages before now?
Y'all don't seem like the I kind of like look around. Circus type. So no, I don't think I've been this way.
So probably
often,
not.
You know. So yeah, this is my first time around. So nobody I would know then. Well, that's unfortunate. I'm sure they might have, you know, tips and tricks to share, which could be fun.
And then she just looks at you and she goes, "So Sita."
I've met her. She's tall, looks like a lion. Looks handy in a fight. Cute tail. Yeah, what about her?
How's she doing? Aaron would never ask you this bullshit ever.
It depends on what day of the week it is, friend. I don't know. She's got a lot on her plate. She seems busy and happy. I don't know. Met her little friend, Asefa.
And you just hear,
What?
if you're going to spend any amount of time in the village as friend, it might behoove you to learn a little bit about who Sita's little friend is.
She does magic. It's extremely impressive.
She is the leader of this village, and it would behoove you to treat her with some amount of respect.
You know, she didn't make that entirely clear.
That's fair. She doesn't. She doesn't.
So I feel like to an extent that's really not on me so much.
Yeah, well, now you know.
And knowing is half the battle.
Asshole.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry forever.
No, it's so good, but asshole.
No, and now I know. I feel like we got off on the wrong foot, and with my feet, that is a substantial mistake. And I kind of wiggle my giant halfling toes. I don't know if I've ever actually introduced myself. I'm Kavi, by the way.
And she'll hold her hand out. Aaron, you're refreshing,
Shake.
if a little brusque.
I get that a lot for people. I don't know.
Yeah. Thanks for your help in the jungle the other day.
No.
Oh, that was
thank
just
you.
yesterday. Oh, days run together.
Tell me about it. That
Anyway, if
tree
you'd like,
over there, not comfortable. Can't recommend it.
we have guest quarters. They're right over, and she will literally point them out to you.
Also, something Asefa didn't tell me. This is great. You really
Did
should...
you give her a chance though? This is the question. Because I feel like you're the kind of
I went in and had coffee. We spoke. I spoke to her about Sita even, which makes you the second person today who is chasing after her. What is that all about?
I taught her everything she knows. Just want to make sure she's okay. I'll see her later.
Well, then she's learned it well. Well, she doesn't shoot that good with a bow.
No, she more like. Anyway, she more likes to claw things and use a big sword, which I'm good at as well. But
you have claws?
I live with animal people. And she literally grabs in her back pocket and pulls out these metal claws.
Huh.
You gotta train a guardian. You gotta do what you gotta do. Anyway, I'll see you later if you want someone to train with. That was all I was gonna say this whole time. And literally she will turn around and go, halflings. And like as she's a halfling and just walk away.
I shout after her in halfling, like, you only get away with that on account of the whole
that I'm a halfling, I know, back in halfling.
I can't actually shout this less loud, but yeah. I'm glad we see eye to eye. I turn to Jaya. It's like, I like her. She's all right. Okay, thank you.
Asha, are you doing anything, dear?
I think after breakfast and finally waking up, I think they'll just find a corner. Well, first, with Asefa's permission, maybe like find a corner where they can like mess around with their potions. Just find a space where I can make stuff.
Yeah, Asefa would open like, I'm kind of imagining it like it's just like a bunch of like little, like if you've ever had what is it? If you ever seen like a fishing box with like all the little like sub compartments, but it like spreads open.
Yeah, like a tack
this.
box.
Yeah, like tack box. Like it's the cabinet equivalent of that, where like she pulls open like only 2 doors, but there's like 3 little like sub compartments. She's like, vials, potions. Oh, probably should have eaten that. Vials. Here we go. It's fine. They're better for spellcasting when they're not fresh.
I wasn't judging.
Here. And she pulls out a mat that's like basically a naturalistic equivalent of like gloves for handling like caustic material. Like, give this a shot. I haven't tested it myself yet. Should be fine.
Are you sure it's okay? I don't want to use up any of your materials if you're lacking or if you're low.
Your existence in my household so far has been being witness to a lot of awkward emotional tension and seeing me be startled by casting magic. You are literally the least bit of an encumbrance in my household whatsoever.
Okay. Thank you. And then
so no, you're fine.
Just flaps there.
As you are helping Asha get set up. Oh, yeah, Sita.
Sita wanted to speak to Ash privately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just FYI. I wasn't sure if you were about to like move the scene forward.
I was gonna move Ash forward, but yes. So
okay.
I realized I was muted.
Oh,
I was just gonna ask Bessie, what is it you desire?
Food. You look deeply into the soul of a cow, and the cow is like,
Give me fuel,
Food.
give me fire.
food.
Hold the phone. If they can talk to animals, I want a new move.
No, it's just I think it's funny.
I'm kidding. I am all the way kidding. I'm all the way kidding.
And I just hand more hay. It's like, wow.
You've made a friend. Bessie is now your friend.
Totally not what I was going for.
Heart wants something on certain occasions, and it doesn't get that in return all the time.
So, Sita, what are you doing to...
Way too deep. Like, whoa.
Sita will say to Ash, Ash, I have something for you back in my head. Come with me real quick before you leave.
Okay.
It's a total lie. She'll bring Ash back to the hut and she'll close the door immediately and go, okay, I wanted to speak to you alone. Are you aware of who killed the Vlasahaten?
Yes.
What do the rules of our organization have to say about this?
Are they a danger to Avithna?
They murdered someone in cold blood.
No.
They have caused a problem.
I'm
in the
asking
city.
about the person who died. Were they a danger to Avithna?
Yes. However, Publisher's motivations were suspect.
I will handle that.
All right. I trust you. But yes, a danger to Avithna was erased. So I suppose it's a net gain. Cool. I just wanted to check.
Justice is one thing. And as a follower of Tempest, I believe in justice. But we all must understand that not everyone always makes the right decision for the right reason. But sometimes it works out. And sometimes it bites us in the ass, but who knows what that'll be this time.
Well, I think we can already see what's happening in the city as a result of this. I'm worried. If Publisher is making decisions based upon personal opinions rather than on the good of Avithna, then I'm concerned for their well-being.
That's fair.
I just want them to be well, and I'm worried that my presence continues to compromise them.
I think that I'll speak to them, but you should as well.
I did, and it did not go well.
Sometimes a night's sleep and a clear mind can make a conversation go better.
Okay. I trust you.
But I'll
Thank
see.
you. Thank you.
And Ash will just hug you. Like a big hug.
Aw, Sita will totally hug Ash back.
And then they head out. And you're just talking to the cow, feeding the cow hay. Bessie's getting hay. And all of a sudden, you just hear a voice that says, "Hey, kid." And Ash is just sitting on the gate. You didn't hear them come up? They're real stealthy, and they're super fast.
And I just at
Thanks.
this point sort of look at Bessie and it's like, you know Bessie can't talk, right?
I'm talking to you, kid. What are you, like 20?
Well, when I was in the courtesan hall, apparently it was rude to ask questions like that.
I'm not a courtesan. What are you, 20?
20 and a half.
Fine. And you turn around, and Ash is literally sitting on the edge of the fence with their legs crossed in front of them, kind of leaning on their quarterstaff that's hitting the ground.
Oh my god, they're so fucking cool, Kate.
I did not create Ash,
I know.
so y'all are welcome. And they just lean forward and they're like, "So what? You make mistakes, right?"
Are you here to kick me out of the organization? I mean, if you're gonna do it quickly, because I'm already in the doghouse, or, well, no, that's rude to some of my friends. They're very nice dogs. I guess Honestly, at this point, I don't know. I'm just waiting for the earth to open up and swallow me. Because it can't get any worse than everyone on my team hating my guts and wishing I were dead, because I know I hate myself.
And they're going to jump down off the fence and come grab your hand and be like, we all make mistakes. And the worst thing than working this out with people who care about you and see your value is being dead. Believe me, I've been there. It sucked.
Wait, if you're dead.
I'm not dead now. I was dead.
Oh, I was just thinking it's kind of cool, you know? Like, are you a vampire or something now?
No, I just got brought back to life.
You see the gears are turning, trying to comprehend.
Like, you know magic? The like cold resurrection magic? That happened with me. I died, and then I was resurrected.
It's a 3rd level spell in the system.
Oh, that's not. Oh, then yeah, I probably like. Oh, okay, that sort of resurrection. Cool.
So kid, and then they'll get back up on the fence so that they're eye level with you, because they short, and they do it really cool. Like they just plant their quarterstaff in the ground and just like jump and land on the top of the fence. You're like, the fuck, and they just look at you and go, "Hey, so I'm old. Compared to you, I'm old, and I've lived a long time, and I've made a lot of mistakes. You know what happens when you make a mistake?"
You get kicked out of a team, run out of town, and get into another organization where you fuck up again and then get kicked out of town again.
Nope. You learn from it and you do better. Because, kid, you're a winner. It's why you were picked. So this is how you learn to not do that again. And next time, you won't make the same mistake. You'll make other mistakes, but you won't make that one.
Okay, but how do I get people to not hate me anymore?
You just talk to them and you apologize. And then you work to build their trust again. And I don't think they hate you. I think they're worried about you. I think you might want to talk to them. They're your friends, and they care about you.
I didn't see how angry they were. It's like they wanted to murder me, and I probably would have been like, okay, here's my neck. Ah.
It's fair. Sometimes people get mad when you do things that make them upset. But I think they're more worried about you, and sometimes anger comes out in worry.
Okay.
I've been in fights with people before. This is not so far gone you can't fix it. Trust me, kid.
Not
I know.
really had a fight. I mean...
That's because you're like all of 20, kid. You're like a baby.
Well, if someone's mad at me, I usually skip down.
Yeah, maybe you should just, realize your value and worth. And let your friends care about you.
By getting mad at me and throttling me?
I don't think they're gonna throttle you. Did anyone throttle you?
No, they were just yelling at me.
Well, that's a damn sight far better than throttling.
I don't know. I'm very tempted. But I guess...
I mean, fair. That's always fun, but only in the right circumstances. And they'll kind of laugh and go, kid, do better, be better, help people. That's why you're here. Go make things right. And they'll flip off the fence, do a backflip, land like kind of astride their quarterstaff, slide to the ground. And you all have not noticed that they literally have a bag the size of themselves they've been carrying with them this whole time.
Now that was just showing off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, though.
What they do.
Come on.
Also,
The only addition to that would have been like 3-point superhero landing.
No, they don't do that. That's not their thing.
No, that's horrible on the knees.
You said they flipped off the fence, and that is like acrobatics was not where I went immediately. I
Oh,
gotta
they
be honest.
acrobatically flipped off the fence.
I can't help it.
And then
That's what they
leaving
did to the fence.
as Ash makes their goodbyes with everybody
Yeah.
and heads out of town, that's where we'll go to break.
All right. And...
Cool.
So everybody get ready to
We'll
go
be back after
get a
these
snack.
messages.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. If you get a second during break, you should check out one of our amazing sponsors. We're now proudly sponsored by Roll20, the best virtual tabletop for all your role-playing needs. Over 4 million people use Roll20's virtual tabletop to power their favorite games. And with more modules than you can shake a stick at on their new revamped storefront, you'll definitely find something for your group to enjoy. Sign up today by clicking the link below or heading to roll20.net/start/WTTP. Tabletop Loot is an amazing place to get your dice bags, dice boxes, and more. And now you can get 15% off your purchase at tabletoploot.com by using the code WTTPDICE at checkout. Tabletop Loot. Your party starts here. While you're at it, check out our so awesome merch store, So Nerdware. So Nerdware is the place to find all your Welcome to the Party merch and other amazing stuff too. Head on over to sonerdware.com and use the code WELCOME at checkout to get 10% off your next purchase. So Nerdware. It's what the nerds wear. Devin Rue, the amazing mistress of maps, has kindly supported the channel since the beginning and provides graphics for many of our streams. Head on over to rueinc.com to check out some of the best fantasy cartography on the web. Our Patreon supports the creators and producers of the channel by providing Roll20 subscriptions, cost coverage for video hosting, and more. If you want to support the channel while getting podcasts a week early, gaming articles that are published on Patreon first, a shout out during our break, and more, head on over to patreon.com/welcomepartyrpg and throw us a buck or $5. And last, but certainly not least, help out the party. Subs and bits not only support the stream, but also every 500 bits or a tier 1 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a reroll or system equivalent, and every 1000 bits or tier 2 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a crit or system equivalent. Thanks again for hanging out with us today. The game will be back in just a few minutes.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.